Third phase
all at once, or keep it down to location. And it is interesting. The blue spiral video. At first I thought it was just a star, but then the reaction from the person that shot it is what blew me out. And then we took a closer look of exactly what he was shooting, and it looked like a spiraling quantum kind of physics action of a blue black hole, Dr. J.
Exactly. It could have been something that this orb was either coming out of, or at the end of the video, all it looked like there was this spiral left, so maybe the orb went into it, through the portal into another dimension. Who knows? The point is, we got it on camera, submitted to Third Phase of Moon for the world to see.
More video coming in from Miami. I think we had about 2 or 3 videos submitted just this past few days from Miami, from Jeremy Thomas. And it looked to me like a fleet of UFOs, maybe 10. Dr. J. Brent, what do you say?
Definitely not a flock of birds. You could tell they're in formation, unlike a flock of birds. You could see them separate. These guys are staying really close to each other, and it's just great footage that's coming in from people around the world. We're excited what we're looking at. What do you think it is, John?
You know, this fleet is definitely not birds because A, they're too big, B, they're all flying in unison. Birds turn in unison, but these things have a separation in distance that is consistent throughout the entire time, and they're spread out all over the place. This is one of the more amazing footages that has come through to Third Phase of Moon and for the world to see.
If you're listening right now on Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com, we want to invite everybody to join Third Phase of Moon on YouTube to watch these videos right now coming into Third Phase. And then now, the Galactic Guru has sent us video from Derby, UK, over and over, and a new one coming in August 8, 2013. People say it could be a star, but when we look at it as the video rolls, stars don't appear in front of clouds. What do you think this bright object in the sky is, Dr. J?
It looks like a giant orb, and not only is it not a star, it's too big to be a star. I would say it's somewhere along the lines of just smaller than the moon, and it's moving, not just vertically, but horizontally in a matter of seconds and minutes. This thing reminds me of the giant orb that was one of the 3 orbs that released over 200 UFOs over the Catalina Channel, which we reported on last week for the Boy Scout troop to see. And I think that this could be one of those giant craft that contains a bunch of these smaller craft.
Brent, the reports that are coming in on a mass scale to Third Phase of Moon, and the young generation reporting these sightings, putting it down in artwork, describing it, you have an affiliation with artwork and kids' descriptions of UFOs. Can you indulge a little bit more on that, Brent?
Yeah, most definitely. Looking at the young artists, the future now, they're really creative. They've moved to the next generation. Back in the day, we're just playing around with pencils and, what was it, Asteroids and Space Invaders were our video games. Now they're looking at things that look almost like reality, and the concept of art is out of our imagination and what these children are thinking and what they're going to accomplish in the future. Hey, John, tell us about this new video that we just got, another one from Miami with these floating orbs.
You know, this one reminded me of either a small triangular object with another orb following it, monitoring it, whatever it is, or it could be the famed TR3B that everybody is making a huge sensation about. What it is remains to be seen. However, it's caught on the camera, and you could clearly tell from the excitement of the person filming from it that it's something major that does not happen regularly.
Not only the person that shot it, well, actually this was shot in Grisham, Oregon, Victor Cervantes, July 28, 2013. The family was there. It was a mass sighting. People know what conventional airplanes look like, balloons, sky lanterns, you name it, stars. When people know that it's a UFO, they react in this fashion that is pretty much universal, kind of in a hysterical, euphoric way. Right, John? That's the way I take it. That's the way I see it. Thousands of UFO reports, videos, it's all the same, kind of euphoric.
Yes, people seem to get excited the moment they see something anomalous. And when they grab their cameras and start filming it, the camera is not only filming the object, it's filming their reaction, which is great and very consistent with what you said with the euphoria and enthusiasm.
Now, Dr. J, you have got some amazing guests that are going to be appearing on Third Phase of Moon, exclusive testimony. Young Jack Graham also asking the big questions. Can you tell me the first guest right now, right here, exclusive on Third Phase of Moon, that we'll be showcasing very shortly?
Yes, James Gilliland of the Gilliland Ranch, which is a famed ranch in Washington, the state of Washington, where apparently orbs come every single night. And everybody from The Tonight Show to Good Morning America to CNN to Larry King to O'Reilly were on location. What he said was that half of those things were scrapped, the other half were shown. But this brought him international fame, and we got an exclusive interview with him, among others, of course.
Dwight D. Eisenhower, possible president that had the last insight of what was going on in Area 51, and you managed to capture an exclusive interview with the granddaughter?
His great-granddaughter, Laura Eisenhower, yes, she spoke to Third Phase of Moon directly. And let me tell you this, Blake, when Dwight Eisenhower left his presidency, he spoke, instead of how he brought taxes down, created jobs, but he warned the civilians to beware of the military-industrial complex. Why? It's speculated that he was cut out of the loop of the own black government that he started. And that's what's so important about this case. We have a direct descendant who is talking openly about extraterrestrials. And I think that's one of the greatest things we got.
When a great-granddaughter of a president wants to come out and disclosure, wow, it doesn't get much better than that. And we've had background interviews with Mr. Ron Gardner in regards to the Area 51 conflict that almost happened with the U.S. Army. Brent, what were you thinking when you imagined that for the first time, when you heard this story come out?
Wow, Eisenhower was going to invade Area 51. He told the troops, let's go ahead and take this place out. He felt uncomfortable of the secret dark government, and he understood the truth that this is a bad place to be for a president, because it's not about how government works. He's not giving it to the people. He's actually being controlled by the dark mafia that controls the world. So he felt pretty intimidated when he actually learned the truth.
The disclosure has already just been admitted today. It was on the Huffington Post about Area 51. Wow, finally the government comes clean that they're aware that Area 51 exists. Check that off. That's a pretty much no-brainer. And now they're just saying that, yeah, they're working on military aircraft. Well, let's get an insight interview. Let's get Third Phase of Moon in Area 51 and see what's really going on if they want to disclose. What do you say about that?
I think we should take the time and go to the border. You know, let me tell you this, though. There is a sign that says if you cross it, you will get killed. But let me tell you this. If you organize 10,000 people, 50,000 people, 100,000 people to march, do you really think that the U.S. government is going to order the execution of 50,000 people on the spot covered by media? I think that's probably the only way we're ever going to be able to walk onto there. But if we go in groups of 10, 20, 50, 100, they could disappear, and that's also a no-brainer. But you said it was mentioned in the Huffington Post, Blake. Huffington Post covers lots of things that are UFOs that other people don't. This story made CBS, CNN, Fox News, ABC, every channel out there. Why are they telling it? Because they've already admitted that there was an installation there years ago. Now that they're actually admitting to some more rumors, although they won't confirm what the rumors are.
what I'm taking away from this is that, well, now possibly the government, the people we elect, can get involved. Besides the 100,000 man march to Area 51, you asked me the question, I think that could be quite dangerous for both sides. But what I'm thinking is now, okay, President Obama's aware of this. All presidents from here on out are out in the public aware of Area 51. They don't have to say that they don't know about that it even exists. So that might open up some doors. Maybe some congressmen could get in there and find out what's going on at Area 51, just like the CIA agent, the anonymous CIA guy that worked for Eisenhower came and went to Area 51 to find out what was going on. Maybe that kind of thing could happen again. That's what we're hoping. We want to see what's going on in there.
You know, Blake, I have to say, even though you said Barack Obama now knows about this, every president has known about this because it's been leaked. It's not leaked. It's actually known information. This was even on a documentary on the History Channel about the UFOs in the White House. It said every president has renewed the secret budget for Area 51. Every president was aware of that base, and they signed a form that says, yes, this fiscal year they can have unlimited money for this base. And so they knew about it, and they knew it was spending a lot of money, and they didn't know what was going on there and what kind of money. But I agree with you. We do need to have senators, congressmen, like the ones from the citizens' hearing, that could go there, with the media. We would love to see that. And if Third Phase of Moon could cover that, that would be the greatest thing, Blake.
Well, I think that exclusive will happen on Third Phase of Moon one of these days. People standing by. We're up to 101,000 subscribers. The movement is on for disclosure, and we're going to keep on it to find out what's going on with the UFOs, alien abductions, the agenda, secret society. We're going to cover it. We're going to be taking calls right now. Area code 717. Welcome to Third Phase of Moon. Thanks for standing by.
Hi.
Hey, any comments on Area 51, some of the new news out, some of the new videos, or have you had a video yourself?
Yeah, actually, I took a video today, and it's on YouTube.
Excellent. Can you tell us who you are and where was the video shot from, at what time, place? Go ahead.
Yes, my name is Lorraine Neely. It's located on YouTube under my maiden name, Lorraine Souders. It's titled UFO in Edders, PA.
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania, yes.
There's a lot of sightings going out over there. There's a lady, Allison Cruz, that captures all kinds of incredible video over Pennsylvania. It's interesting. We sure would like to see it. Can you contact us via Skype or our Facebook Skype and then send us the link? And we sure would love to see it. Can you explain to us what the video entails and describe the object or objects?
Yes, I actually sent you an email with the link to your email address.
Well, let's go to my email address right now and then see what we got over here. How did you come across Third Phase of Moon?
YouTube.
Was it because of the sighting you had today, or was it because prior to this, did you always have your eyes on the skies?
I've had many sightings of UFOs, and Allison Cruz is one of my friends, and I have seen all of her videos.
Great. There's she definitely knows how to capture her videos and get perspective, and we're pulling up the video right now. And what I'm looking at is, first of all, the perspective. You have perspective. You have the illuminated object in the background. There's trees in the foreground, so we're getting some kind of perspective of what's going on. At the moment, it's stationary. Does the object later on move, or is it pretty much the orb in the night sky?
No, it moves. It moved around up and down, and it went down under the tree line, but it looks just like an orb in the sky, and it happened right after the sun went down, and I saw it, and we had high-powered binoculars. You could see it with the binoculars really well, and it looked like it was pulsating.
Well, it definitely has that pulsating light, and it's definitely not an airplane, and there's no stars around it. It to me doesn't look like a star because it's pretty low on the horizon right there, and it's moving slightly. Go ahead, Brent. Can you give us some insight? Yes, I have a question. Can you describe the weather, and was it a cloudy night, or was there other stars popping out?
There was no clouds at all. It was a totally clear night. The moon was to my left. It was a pretty bright moon, which is why I was able to video it, because it wasn't really dark out.
Well, I think our Third Phase of Moon viewers would be very interested in witnessing this video. Would you mind us sharing this video on Third Phase of Moon as we rebroadcast this radio show to our Third Phase of Moon channel?
No, by all means. Go ahead and share it with as many people as you like.
Excellent. That's what Third Phase of Moon is all about, we think, is getting the word out, corresponding with people from around the world who want to showcase their phenomenon that they've captured and get credit that they deserve. We'd be sure to make sure to give the credit and to the YouTube channel and make sure that everybody knows who shot the phenomenon. Hey, we really appreciate you sharing your video and your story. Are you always going to have your camera ready, and is it a frequent process? Do you have more UFO videos?
Yeah, we see a lot of UFO activity around where we live. We live fairly close to 3 Mile Island nuclear power, and they seem to travel in the same pattern. We see them in the same areas around the same times. Believe it or not, they seem to like to appear after the sun goes down, usually on Friday nights, and also late at night. It seems like they like to appear either late at night or right after the sun goes down. And sometimes we see them in formation. But they do travel in the same path, it seems like.
Are nuclear power plants and that in general, nuclear silos, are there magnets for UFOs? Dr. J, what would you have to say about the phenomenon of a lot of sightings, missile bases being shut down, nuclear bases being visited? What's going on with UFOs wanting to find out what's going on over there?
Well, this is a major reason why the skeptics say, why did the sightings start in the 40s? Because of the movies. Actually, they're wrong, because the movies came out after. But what happened was people started seeing more UFOs. Why? Because we detonated nuclear weapons. We showed to the whole universe that we're a capable society, that we are a nuclear society, and they probably scurried from all over the galaxy and all over the universe from other galaxies to come over and say, uh-oh, the kids found the matches, and they're still doing tribal warfare, killing each other, and rather than using it for a peaceful and right way, the message from the ETs to the people from the moment we've launched nuclear weapons was to end them. And that's an ongoing message. Abductees to this day still say they're worried about us, the way we treat our planet, and more importantly, the way we treat ourselves and each other.
We're getting some Skype messages in as we speak, and somebody says that what Dr. Greer said about UFOs, not wanting to stay visible for too long because government targets will use Skylar weapons on them. It's interesting. I would imagine that there are Skylar weapons around major sensitive spots, and for these mass sightings over the nuclear power plants and missile bases, it seems that technology we have is basically no defense for what's going on and what they want to know.
I totally agree. And the fact that they've been shutting down missiles is probably one of the reasons that the government keeps the secret. I mean, how can they tell the public, look, you got things that are coming in the sky that we can't detect, and by the way, they can come to our secret bases and shut them down? I mean, that's a pretty phenomenal thing, if you ask me.
Let's get to caller 717. Allison Cruz continuously captures videos. You say you're friends with her. Have you been over to her location and witnessed these UFOs for yourself?
We've talked on the phone. She's one of my Facebook friends. We do share a lot of videos with each other. We pretty much have talked about the same phenomenon and mapped out certain patterns of UFOs. And she does have pretty state-of-the-art equipment that she uses. I just use my cell phone, which what I captured tonight was with my Galaxy cell phone, which isn't too bad, but sometimes I wish I had something better.
Well, if you're in the same general area, if you could contact Allison on behalf of Third Phase of Moon, we really would like to make contact and showcase some of her incredible work that she's been doing, get the word out on what's going on over there in Pennsylvania, and that would be a pretty great opportunity for just to showcase all her hard work. Third Phase of Moon wants to, again, give people the credit where it's deserved. Who's doing it, give them the credit. Be translucent and give the information out. John, now let's get back into the Alien Human Project, the Alien Abduction Diaries. You just spoke with an abductee recently on the radio show yesterday. Tell us, what did he have to say that was some of the most amazing, testimony that I've heard in a while, but I want you to say it because you're the one that spoke to him personally on the radio show.
There's a few things that stick out in my mind. One thing that he said off air, which I have to say because no listener got to hear it, was that when he called the aliens a monster telepathically in his head, because that's how they were communicating when he realized that they were speaking through their minds, he called them a monster for doing what they're doing to him by extracting his semen and, pulling out his eyeball and putting an implant. They basically played him a memory of him shooting a bird with a BB gun and said, "You're calling us a monster, you're killing these animals." And then he kind of felt guilty and went on. The eyeball was removed to the point where it was just stretching the ligament but not removed completely, just kind of like hanging there painlessly. And what they basically told him was that they put the implants there so it's harder for humans to get them out. So basically the documentary we did on Dr. Lear, people like Dr. Lear are removing these things, and the aliens want to make them harder for them to get out. And that was one of the things he also said. Now, the third thing, which are two abduction specialists who were our guests and are great friends of Third Phase of Moon, Kathleen Martin, Denise Stoner, also confirmed this with many abductees. There apparently is this giant pool of this thick liquid. Apparently it's a greenish black liquid, and it's goo. It's like slime. It's thick. And the aliens tell the people as they're going in it. He woke up from a blackout, and he was screaming. And the aliens told him that he can breathe it, he could eat it, he can digest it, he can, extract it, and he can live on it. And he got an idea that because one guy was screaming, and there was a couple people screaming. That's what woke him up out of his blackout, he said. But one guy repeatedly was climbing up this sort of angle slide, like it would be equivalent to a slide on the playground, and kept falling down, kept sliding down the thing. And he said it's very greasy. So in his mind, he got the impression that this guy had been there for years if he was able to figure out where he was, what he was doing, and how to get out of there. And what he speculated, the abductee, was that this liquid is something to preserve humans for years or for travel somewhere. And they also told him they make perfect humans. I think those are the most remarkable things that the Third Phase of Moon viewers got to hear on Third Phase of Moon Radio.
Wow, that was pretty amazing testimony. It's absolutely incredible if there is such a material, some kind of gelatinous goo that you could eat, breathe, and what was the point behind it? Just he was in a room and it surrounded him. I'm kind of, can you give us a little bit more detail?
Oh, no. He woke up in it, waist deep in it. They had placed him in it, and they had taken him, dragging him by the armpits to the pool, and were telling him what it's for. And apparently he woke up from his blackout hearing the screams. He mentioned, like, he pretty told his story in the timeline. He omitted some things because of time, but he kept mentioning of this blackout, my third blackout, my fifth blackout. So this was one of his later blackouts on the ship, where after they did the medical exam. And he also saw young kids, he thought they were 14, 15 on the ship, which were not abductees. They were humans, apparently, that the aliens grew on board a spaceship, and they can only live on a ship. They cannot live on Earth. I guess that's what they said, or that's what they told him. Like, he asked in their mind, why can't they come down on Earth? And apparently they're not used to that atmosphere. But I thought that was very unique. So he was in this pool with scores of other people. And he said he described it maybe about, I think it was said 100 yards, larger than an Olympic-sized swimming pool. And it was just a huge thing with massive people in it, some people unconscious, other people screaming, other people, moving around like they're trying to swim and panicking, and other people, like, accepting it.
Wow, it sounds like a nightmare. We're getting more texts coming in, and some people say that they're bad aliens that are also part of the dark government, conspiracy, create alien hate. The next big boogeyman is the aliens. And people think it's a ruse or a pre-planned strategy. They actually make some of these entities, and they have alien reproduction facilities. That we need to be careful about these stories, that they may actually be not aliens, but the dark government. More comments coming in, and, it could be that dark government is part of the dark entity alien agenda. Not all aliens are evil, let's hope, but it sounds like a lot of these abduction stories that we continuously hear are like an absolutely nightmarish horror movie that there doesn't seem anything good about it. Have you spoken to anybody that's had a good experience with the alien abductees, Dr. J?
There have been people who have good and bad experiences, and just like the yin-yang sign of good and evil, there exists good and bad out there. There are a lot of aliens that are coming here for good reasons because they care about us. They want us to grow as a society, join this galactic federation that people call. Then there are these bad aliens. Most of them have their own agenda. We don't know what it is. We could be their farm animals. We could be either, just they're conducting a zoo. Some people say it's a prison planet. But there have been people who've been rescued. Actually, the Thirdphaseofmoon expert Preston Dennett, MUFON researcher, 25 years, author of 17 books. One of his books was on UFO healings. 200 cases of documented saving of aliens. One of them he spoke about on Thirdphaseofmoon Radio a few months back was with this woman was on a ship, on a boat, a small boat off the coast of Zuma, I believe, or somewhere here in Los Angeles. And a storm came in, and tidal waves, not tidal, but massive waves were rocking her and, eventually overturned her, capsized her boat, and broke it apart. And next thing she knows, she sees a light taking her off the, out of the water and putting her on shore. And apparently it happened twice to the same woman. So she must have been something important. But there are several people that have good experiences with aliens, Blake.
Well, this is a good thing to know, and I really want to thank everybody from around the world that's been joining us on this radio show live right here at Third Phase of Moon. I also want to remind everybody that we have our new thirdphaseofmoon.net website up and running. We want to thank Tom for helping us out on that. Remember, www.thirdphaseofmoon.net. Dr. J. Andy Ilias, we really appreciate you showcasing your amazing encounters with people that have been abducted by aliens and being on location, getting the footage to us. Thanks again, Dr. J.
Anytime, Blake. Real quick, I just want to remind the listeners out there, listen in to freedomslips.com, Revolution Radio. That's where we have Third Phase of Moon Radio every Thursday from 8 to 10 Pacific Time, which is Greenwich Medium Time -4. And this week we have Jaime Maussan plus a special guest. Once again, freedomslips.com at 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Great. Jaime Maussan. We look forward to that. And if anybody out there has captured anything amazing in regards to UFOs, you could contact us via Skype or Facebook, Third Phase of Moon. My name's Blake Cousins, and we'll see you again next time.